Novi Public Library Board of Trustees this Thursday, May 14, 2026. Ask if you are capable to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh my gosh, I'm not ready either. What is this today? It is. I'm telling you what. Okay, where are my attendance things? Oops, that's the wrong thing. Oh my gosh, I don't even have it. I have to make one up. Okay. Wow, I am really not ready. Okay.
Secretary, can you call the roll?
Yes, Trustee Burke.
Here.
Trustee Bartlett.
Here.
Trustee Dooley.
Here.
Trustee Halvangus is here. Oh, boy. Trustee Stirring.
Here.
And Trustee Yu.
Here.
All
Great.
present.
All present. Moving on to the approval of the agenda. We have the agenda in front of us. Anybody want to move on the agenda?
So moved. Second.
The agenda, the approval of the agenda has been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the agenda? Seeing no discussion, let's do a vote to approve the agenda.
Okay, Trustee Bartlett.
Yes.
Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Trustee Halvangus says yes. Trustee Stirring.
Yes.
Trustee Yu.
Yes.
And Trustee Burke.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Next item on our agenda is the approval of the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of the minutes of April 23, 2026, was a regular board meeting, and also the approval of the claims and warrants of accounts 271 and 272. Those are listed on pages 13 and 15. Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion?
I do have a question. On 14 and 15, the warrants, there seems to be a debit for the same person in 271 and 272, and I was confused about that. Dodworth Saxhorn Band. It's like the 10th one down on page 14.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. For
250 and 650.
and then 650 on the next page. I just wondered what the difference was, why it was in two different accounts.
Probably for a deposit and then paying it in from the friends, but I can double check for you. With not having it in front of me at the moment, I can get you an answer.
Okay.
250, yep, so 250 from 271. And that's
Where do we normally pay?
if
This would be a programming expense.
correct. But if it, in fact, I do know that this program was being sponsored. It had a sponsor to it, and if we didn't receive the sponsor money yet, we might have paid for it first before the sponsor money has come in. So we usually, when that happens, we will use it out of 272. It's easier to bring it in with a sponsorship and then out. So that might be why it got paid at different times and out of two different accounts. But I can clarify that for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're
That's all I
welcome.
had.
Yep.
Okay, with that discussion, any other discussion in regard to the consent agenda? If not, I'll ask the secretary to take the roll, or take the vote.
Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Trustee Halvangus says yes. Trustee Stirring.
Yes.
Trustee Yu.
Yes.
Trustee Burke.
Yes.
And Trustee Bartlett.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
This is the time at our meeting where we invite the public to make comment. I'm in order here, all citizens comment at a reasonable hour. The library board requests that the speakers respect the 3-minute time limit. This is not a question and answer period. However, it is an opportunity to voice your thoughts with the library board. Citizens must state their first, last name, and address. Anybody from the public want to make comment?
Okay.
Okay.
My name is Mary Angela Winter. I'm representing the Friends of the Library Board.
Mary Angela, can we have you go to the mic real quick?
Sorry.
Right over
By
to
the
the
podium,
side.
so we can
Thank
hear
you.
Yeah.
Make it formal.
Yes, yes, please do.
My name is Mary Angela Winter, and I am representing the Friends of the Library Board. Trustee Burke from the Library Board visited our board meeting last night. She was very welcome, and I hope that we will have more of you come to our meetings, and we will reciprocate and come to yours. I think that the camaraderie between the two groups will be very beneficial to the library. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lori Burke told me about that last night, and I think that's a great idea. We appreciate what the Friends are doing and everything that they're doing.
Yes.
And just reciprocating in terms of going to each other's meetings, I think is a great idea. Reports. Team statistics, space statistics, anything, Julie?
Nothing to report.
Okay. In that case, we'll move to my report. First on the agenda for my report is we will have next month a closed session to review Director Farkas's, the annual review. That's on June 11th. Director Farkas requested that it be a closed meeting. HR committee will be sending out shortly the information for us to evaluate and comment back. But this will be set up now for a closed meeting at the end of next month's session. Second, on page 17, this is very exciting. That it's an invite for all the board members to Read Japan Project. It's going to be held Tuesday, May 26th, between 7 and 8. And obviously, we appreciate all of our friends from Japan, emphasis on Japan, and everybody's invited to that.
Yes. And if you haven't RSVP'd yet, please do so for us, just so we can get a good idea and count for some desserts and stuff we'd like to serve.
That's great. On next item for my report, in a way, is Michigan Library Advocacy Day. That's on page 18 through 21. And the discussion there is there's a proposal to remove some money that currently goes to the library, to the trial court system. It's been in the statute that goes to libraries since 1977. This is being considered. I don't think it's going to go very far, but that's just my opinion. We'll wait to see, but obviously that would be the loss of a lot of funds to the library if it went to the trial courts. I mean, everybody's struggling to get aid, and so the courts have made a proposal to take some of that money that normally goes to the library. Michigan was, I think, very generous in terms of adding state support for the Michigan e-library. Some of that was reduced from the federal level, and so the state has stepped up. And I don't know exactly if it covers the full amount or not, but I think they're trying to bridge the gap that they lost by the loss of federal funding.
And to add to that, I was not able to attend the Advocacy Day that occurred in April up at the Capitol this year. I do enjoy going to that event, but I have made sure that all of this information was passed on to Representative Breen, Senator Beyer, and to Congresswoman Dingell. They were actually at the building just a few days after, and I was able to hand them some information. And then I'm looking probably to do something where I can invite them in. So just wanted to keep you in the loop on that. Yeah, but they did receive all this information, and my contact information too if they have questions.
So, in addition to the state of Michigan providing additional funding for the Michigan e-library, I think there are also requests in there to try to increase the funding to the libraries in general by about $500,000. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether that hasn't happened yet. It's a request.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But they have increased the funding already to the e-libraries. So it's nice to see that I think will continue pretty much in the same form as we've all come to enjoy it, just more funding from the state, less funding from the federal government. Page 22 is the current committee assignments. which I made last month. We're missing a board member, so there are still a few open slots. I didn't do anything this month because hopefully if we get a new board member, it'll be easier to fill all those slots. Is there any committee that's suffering from lack of enough members? I mean, I normally we have 3,
Right.
but still we're working with 2.
There's no suffering, but for HR committee, I'm technically acting as chair, even though I'm not officially chair, so.
Okay.
It's just because I have tenure on it.
Okay, okay, good.
So if you want to make it official, you can, but I just wanted to let you know.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
And then I had 3 meetings last week with
Because
the
Kat
open.
was here before.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. I had 3 meetings with some interested people in being on our board. Held meetings with each of them for about an hour, gave them some information about the library. I don't have any information about when council will make the appointment, but I am aware that they know we have the opening and they do want to make an appointment for us. They're not gonna wait till fall, I know that for sure. So they won't have a meeting now until June.
They're
The
skipping their
18th
May meeting.
Right,
Right.
the May 18th meeting was canceled, so as soon as I know more, I will be happy to give you some information.
Thank you.
Okay? I did encourage the 3 people that I met with to reach out to board members, just to get a perspective from an actual board member. So you might get called or contacted, so just wanted to make you aware.
One of them have reached out to me.
Okay, oh, great.
awesome.
Yep,
Cool, Mark.
perfect, yep.
Item E is, thanks to our secretary, Alvangas, for setting up a schedule for the board members the library board members to go to the Friends meetings.
Yep.
And in that, we heard earlier about how the Friends are now having somebody come to our meetings, so that's
Great.
nice to see. But thanks for putting that schedule together.
Of course.
And then, this is where I allow the board members to make any reflections upon things that have happened in the past month or in the future month, their activities, things that they've happened that they think may be relevant to the library.
I'll go. Well, as you know, I did attend the Friends of the Novi Public Library meeting last night. And it was really nice because they received a big book donation from Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority
Awesome.
from their Page Turner squad, which was led by Donna Edie, she's a board member on the Friends of the Library. So that was really interesting, and it was very generous. There was, 30 books, I think? 55
Wow.
books, like new books.
Wow.
So it was really nice. Yes. So that was a donation to the Book Nook, where everybody can go and purchase books at a much discounted rate. It's off to the side at the library. So that was fun. And it was interesting to see in the minutes, all the individual donations for the 65th Youth Reno project. And I assume that we send everybody a thank you note?
If it goes through the Friends, they are doing it. If it comes to us directly, we do it. Yes.
Okay.
And then we will combine all efforts when we get towards the end and when we plan to do an unveiling and things like that, so that we can thank anyone who has participated and donated towards the project. I'm happy to tell you that I had a meeting today and we're almost there.
Nice.
I was just going to ask you
Yes,
if
we are.
you had an update on
We're
the total.
We're about $1,300 shy.
My
Oh my
goodness.
gosh.
Wonderful.
Yes, after today.
That's awesome.
So anyway, that was good. It was very informative to go. And I really was glad I attended because I was able to see how the Friends determine how, what's important to them to give back to the library.
Great.
So that was good.
Thank you for attending. Yeah.
Sure. Yep. That's all I had.
Anybody else? Right.
Yeah, well, I attended the Hidden Rivers presentation, which was interesting. The speaker primarily used the Hidden Rivers in Detroit, so it's very interesting to find out, in fact, where one of the rivers actually runs through the city of Detroit, actually in a storm sewer underneath. And I guess there's a couple alleys that you can go and you can actually hear rushing water go by, because it is, in the various areas that was capped. They weren't aware, and we did have some people in the audience who were talking about the project with Northville Downs, which is where they are uncapping a river. There was a river that ran under Northville Downs, and with that facility, with the now moving into housing, they are actually exposing that river from below, where it's running through tunnels now and sewage systems, and it's actually going to be coming to the surface for the first time in about 40 years. So
Wow, that's cool.
should be interesting. Also, I'd like to remind everybody that I believe the Myers Gardens sign-up is going to be next Monday, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so just a friendly reminder to anybody that was considering.
On the road.
Yep.
Fills up usually in less than 24 hours.
Very popular.
Did you have something, Carla?
Nope, not this
Okay.
time.
Well, the only thing I will mention, and everybody knows that now, but Brian and I were at the council meeting a couple Mondays ago when council formally adopted their budget. They had indicated the meeting before that all 7 council members were in favor of the funding for the library, but they took the official action meeting about 2 weeks ago. And so that went very well. And I think that just reflects years and years of goodwill that the library's had in this community. That, we did some strategizing and we did some financial projections and so forth. But I think the staff at the library deserve a lot of credit, not that they were maybe directly involved with discussions with council, but the fact that we have such a good relationship in the community very well that we received unanimous council support for that.
I will be happy to pass that along. Thank you.
Anybody else? If not, I guess that means the president's report is over. Move to the treasurer's report. Mr. Bartlett.
Well, we've had a couple of meetings with the financial committee. We do not have a year-end projection at this point. Part of the issue is council or the city is still dealing with part-time and non-staff accountants. They haven't replaced the accounting staff that was essentially has been gone now since last May. So, but we hope to have that fairly soon. We're on target with where we said we were going to be. We may end up a little bit nicer, only as folks are aware, we have 2 key librarian positions that are vacant right now. So it's another one of those years where we probably will appear artificially, have an artificial view of our payroll, which as soon as we replace people, it will be a bit higher than what we actually spend. Other than that,
Just to clarify, it's 2 full-time and 1 part-time, which are librarians, and then we have a part-time facilities position that has not been filled yet. Did everyone get the chart? And the ones that were in red are the ones currently up there? Okay.
Yep.
So with that, we are also going to have a proposal that we'll discuss later tonight. One of the things that the city has was concerned about in our financial policy is we upped our financial policy to include our fund balance, but they were changing theirs, that not only do we have a minimum fund balance to obtain, but there's a maximum fund balance that we are allowed to attain. So that once we get to a maximum fund balance, we have to have a plan as far as how that we don't end up hoarding money or, because it is the taxpayers' money.
Right.
We have to be sure that we have a plan on how to spend it. We'll be discussing that a little bit in the financial policy that we're going to review a little bit later. Any questions?
I do have a question on page 31. The line for severance and incentive pay, we budgeted 12,000, but then below it, there's a wages and stipend line where we spent 12,000. Is that
Can you give
supposed to
a
be
line
moved
number?
up a line?
So, no, they're separate. I was going through the budget today because we're going to have a fourth quarter that I will bring to June's meeting. The 12,000, they actually put it in the wages and stipend. That's the retirement. So they paid that out, and we have it budgeted for the vacation payout. So it's just in a different line.
No.
Is that what?
Severance.
Oh,
This would be
severance.
Severance, this would be,
We have
Oh,
it
I'm sorry.
budgeted as
So-
severance.
So I budgeted as severance, I apologize. And the city is going to take it out of, I think they took it out of the stipend, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
why it's showing
I
on
have
there,
to,
too.
I have to update my budget to reflect theirs, which you will see for the fourth quarter.
Okay, so you're
Yep.
just gonna move the budget of
Yes.
12,000 down
Down.
to the
I
next
will be.
line?
Yep.
Got it.
Great question, yep.
So it'll be going forward as a stipend, not
Yeah.
a severance?
Right, to me, it's severance, but I go with them where they place it, but
Sure.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I get to identify the line items. Any other questions for our treasurer?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Brian? Moving on to the director's report. Julie?
Okay, let me get there. All right, we're going to start with our June anniversaries, and we have a couple that, Eileen Mazzarello is celebrating 10 years. She's with our Support Services Department as one of our shelvers. Sheng Yu Chang is celebrating 4 years. He's with our Support Services Department, and he's one of our supervisors. Taylor Price is celebrating 3 years. She is with our Information Services Department as one of our programming assistants. And then Faith McLaren is celebrating 1 year. She is with our Support Services Department as a shelver. So I wish them congratulations on their years of service, and I thank them. Below, I gave you some information about a move that we've taken the first floor copier up to the second. It wasn't getting a lot of use down on the first floor, and there's a demand for the second floor. So we're bringing them all together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at the usage as a total to see, we have a copier contract that'll come up next spring that will begin next fall in 2027. And will we need two? And that'll allow us to see that and see the usage over a year. So we wanted just people to know where it went and that we didn't take it away. Construction on the library's main doors, that's just a heads up, but we're gonna talk about that tonight. You saw some information and details. I wanted the full board to have that information just so that I could move forward with different language, starting tomorrow and going forward. We've put out our read boxes, so really excited about that, and our new one is at Sakura Novi. I'm working on a date to do a little unveiling, and I will invite you, so be looking for that email. And right now, our patio is closed, almost done. We had to do some work on the pavers. They shifted and sunk a little bit because of the weather. Keith and Jeff from our facilities team is the last week with weather when they could, has been getting that out ready, and then we'll be able to open it back up. So they're in the very last stage of that as an email today.
Just in time for the weather.
Yes, right? Novi Community Fest is coming up. If you can attend, we're gonna have 2 tables. We'll be out in the main area, like where all the businesses are. We'll have a table there for the library for general stuff, but then we will also be inside because we are heading up all of the entertainment inside in the 4 quarters. Gail has done a wonderful job setting up 7 or 8 different performances and different types of cultural music that will be inside, and the library will promote the summer reading program inside at that table. We're also including a bingo, so they will go around to different tables and get around the event, and we'll have a raffle basket, and I do believe they win a summer reading t-shirt. So I hope if you can attend, wear your shirts, and even if you just want to stop by for a little bit, it's going to be very busy. We've seen thousands on the campus for that day, so pray for no rain. We've had a lot of Tigers programs. I don't know if you noticed, but we just had one this week. That was well attended. They had over 60 people in attendance, and we promoted this one as well. This is Tom Gage is coming back, and he's bringing Alex Avila. It will be at Fox Run, so we can take something up into the north end of the community, and that's on Monday the 22nd at 11 a.m. If you can attend that as well, please join us. I also made sure you have your Summer Songfest dates. And so those are all locked in. We get ready for the summer, and hopefully we will have some good weather, and definitely Gail has planned some awesome music starting the end of June and going through the end of August. So if you're looking for a night out and to have a cocktail or beverage, you can show up at Paradise Park. They've been wonderful supporters of this program with us for many years now, since COVID. And it gets bigger and bigger every year. So I wanted you to have those in advance so you can mark your calendar. I do believe Brian and I will do our U of M MSU basket competition. I don't know which date yet. We have to work on that, right? I know we do. And then I'm happy to entertain any other questions that come with the other reports. If I can just point out one, though, I wanted to bring your attention to page 61, which was a large project done by our Support Services Department. Eva Sobolchek, heads it, but lots of staff were involved in this to get through all of our weeding and moving and checking of our inventory of material. And we have over 100,000 items in the building that had to, make sure they were there or not. And we did find some, misplaced. And so that's always good when we do this. We don't do this every year, but we try to do this periodically. And then this updates also the catalog as well to remove things if it's not on the shelf anymore. But huge thank you to her and her team for taking on this project.
Can I that seems like it was a huge project.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
So that
Can't
was
imagine.
great. I don't want to breeze over
Sure.
the Japanese, the mention of the Yokai Festival
Yes.
in the monthly newsletter. I think that's great.
Yep.
And they gave Shannon O'Leary a shout out. I think we're very lucky to have her. She's so dedicated to this area.
She is very dedicated. I try to send her as much as possible to these events, knowing that she has a great connection and has built some wonderful relationships. I already know that program, I believe, will take place on Saturday, October 31st in the fall. So this is something annual that she is participating in and having at our library. So if you want to mark that on your calendar as well. Anything else that I can entertain for you?
I had a question about, it said something on page 60,
Sure.
under TLNA, or TLN, the third empty bullet, if you want to call it, the holes. It says
Yes.
libraries now have the ability to limit their discovery search. Is that something we're going to do? Because it says you have to open up a help ticket if you want to do that.
One development in progress is the Discovery Catalog. Yes, and I will find out when that is determined.
Okay.
I'll get more info for you. Yep.
And Holly migration, is that Holly joining in? Is that what that is?
Yes, that is
cool.
Holly.
Oh,
Yes.
that's great.
Nice,
I know.
Good for them.
nice.
Holly Library.
Real quick question.
Yep.
I forgot what the timing was, Julie, but we had that report, I think it was in the fall, where the staff put together kind of what they were planning to do for the next several years towards the strategic plan. There was a lot of green, and it was like giving timelines.
Yes.
When do we expect like kind of an update for that?
Great question. That's actually, Lori is working on that now.
Okay.
And I'll be pulling a strategic planning, I think it's just you, Brian, right now. I'll be reaching out to Brian to meet with us to get that feedback, and then we will create a year-end review of everything that's done for 25, 26.
Yeah, because they had a long list.
Yes.
So I was like,
and
oh my gosh.
We just finished up, we did a huge survey. I do know, I don't have total numbers, but I know that was over 400 people that we did get responses from for the public survey that we put out, and we'll start working on that data as well. And that'll be part of strategic plan. Yep.
I will say I appreciate the North End news section.
Yes.
As a North End,
Yep.
as a North Ender, I am bummed I didn't get the heads up that we were at the Waldate PTSA meeting. The only meeting that I did not go to.
Oh, yes, we were there. So thank you. I appreciate, we're trying to make inroads, and Tori, I appreciate you for helping us make some connections. But that is one of the things we're going to work on this year, is to put us in some different places up in the North End. I think I've shared with you, Vibe Credit Union has opened up a community space that we might be able to utilize. Walled Lake has spaces that we might be able to utilize. It's been difficult with Lakeshore Park. And that's because we've been given only the daytime, and a lot of programming that we do to reach adults and stuff is in the evening. And summer, we can't at all, because they have their camp there, and then they don't do evening programming because they keep the camp like all situated for the summer. And then they do rentals on the weekend. So that's been limited for us. So I'm gonna look for, Fox Run has turned out to be a great location, but I'd like to get some other locations that maybe people might see it as not so a senior associated with, even though it doesn't have to be.
Right.
But if I can provide, find some spots like that, I think we're gonna do that this year.
Great.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions, additional questions, Store Director?
Perfect, thank you.
If not, we're going to move on to the next public comment section. I don't see anybody else from the public that wants to speak, so we're moving past that one into committee reports. Open this up for any committee that wants to report on something that's happened in their committee this past month, other than the items that that are coming from the committees to talk about later for more board action.
I have one.
Go ahead.
So HR committee recently met. Aside from what's on matters for library board action, I wanted to bring up a couple of things to the board.
Okay.
Right now, the job positions that are out there for the 2 full-time and the 2 part-time, we got feedback from Kristen that we're really not getting a lot of great candidates, and it's pretty slim as far as applicants, because we're actually competing with very similar positions with our sister libraries in kind of like the nearby area. So Julie and Kristen are going to pull together for us for June to kind of see what those positions are like, what the pay range are for especially the librarian positions. Back during budgets, we did kind of table the discussion on the step for the salary, and I do believe it's time to bring it back, because if we're not competitive, we're not going to be able to fill those positions, and that's going to be a big hardship on the library. We've already had to cancel children's programming, and a lot of parents are sad about that. I know we've only received a couple communications, but I just know that's very well attended programs at the library, and a lot of parents and caregivers really want their kids to attend those things. So right now we don't have that. We had to limit a teen space day because of it. And so it's really impacting our go forward, because we're getting turnover right now. It's just like weird timing. It's really weird timing, but it just happened that way. So that's something that the HR committee wanted to bring forward, to plant that seed, that we will have to have that discussion, hopefully for the June meeting.
If I can just give an example, just the month of April and just into May, including yesterday, we have seen 12 librarian positions from different libraries in our area that we're competing with. Like, they've got a youth librarian out there full-time, they've got an adult librarian full-time, and they're in the area where our people could
go or, that have openings just like us.
Right.
I was asked a very good question during our HR
Mhm.
committee meeting about are people going into library science? They are. And we're encouraging, and we have staff that you have given tuition money,
Mhm.
and we have 2 staff currently that are going to school. It's just they're not there in the process yet. They're just starting. But we do see students that are graduating this spring. Since our meeting, we've had a few more applications come in for the positions, and we do have interviews starting to be set up.
Yeah.
So
Good,
we've moved
good.
forward from a week ago from the meeting or
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah.
Was it
Tuesday, yeah.
It's just
We've seen a
been,
few more, but
it's been
that's gonna take a
slow.
little bit of time, and
Yeah.
again, we're gonna start the interview process and stuff,
Exactly.
but we are definitely in competition.
Yes.
With our Brighton, Ypsilanti,
Commerce.
Commerce.
Canton.
These are libraries that
Yeah.
actually have postings out right now.
Yeah.
Looking for full-time employees.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I said, we lost one because they were part-time and went to a full-time
Right.
position, so.
So part of that discussion that we'll have hopefully in June, if you go to page 80 in our packet, that'll give you some preliminary information on what a full-time librarian minimum and like the salary range would be. Not necessarily for a specific position, but it kind of gives us a lens with the class 6, because their populations are pretty similar to ours, so.
Correct. These are libraries that I've used in the past
Yeah.
to compare us to based on population.
If the,
It looks like we fell right in the middle.
yeah, we're kind of in the
Yeah.
low middle. We're like average.
Right.
Yeah.
This is, by the way, DSLRT information that was done in December. So if they change their ranges, I don't have the new ranges
Oh,
for the positions that might be going out now.
okay.
And Kristen is actually collecting all of those so that we can share with you.
That's why we want to see it.
Collecting those postings.
Yeah.
So that you can see what they might be changing.
For now, yeah,
Correct. And some of those libraries might have made the changes due to the 15-hour
right.
minimum wage that's gone into effect, and they're getting ready for that, depending on when their
The fif-
annual fiscal is.
Yeah.
We're July to June, they may be
Right.
different, and already putting that into place. So there's a few things just to be aware of.
Yeah, so I think like for the June packet, maybe we can bring back that information that Kristen put together on the step.
Yeah.
So that the board can kind of reframe and kind of remind ourselves what that looked like. And then also the job postings, so we can see who we're in competition with and then how much of a differential there is. The HR committee also gave some feedback on, is there anything that sets us apart from our sister libraries, aside from salary, right? Because it's not all just salary, although nowadays that is on everybody's mind. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. On everybody's mind nowadays, just because it's a little more expensive right now. But sometimes I feel like we don't promote ourselves enough, and I feel like we don't shout on the mountaintop like all the cool things that we do offer. So we had that discussion on, what else could set us apart outside of salary range to be competitive. Part of that, I think, is our culture. We talked about maybe getting employee testimonials because we have employees at MPL that have been here for so long, and nowadays that's really rare. So it's like, is there anything else that would paint a good picture for a qualified candidate to want to choose us over someone else? So those are things that we discussed in HR committee to try to enhance our messaging so that people know. So that's kind of what I wanted to bring up today, Mark, and it's for the board to just plant that seed for discussion.
Well, I think that's very good, and your comments were, in my experience, and I've never been in HR, but working with most companies and most people, the employees' salary is obviously very important, but sometimes it's not the most important part. It really is doing things they like to do, job satisfaction, getting credit for the things that they do. And so there are a lot of things over and above salary that is very meaningful to the employees. And certainly things like fringe benefits in terms of, things like health insurance and contributions to a retirement plan, and all those things are as important as a salary, but no doubt salary is high in everybody's list.
Right.
Okay, and thank you very much for bringing that up. Tori.
I guess I'll try because I just realized I'm the building and grounds chair. Looking at the workshop. So we since my last meeting, we met a couple times, and it seems every time we meet, Julie gives us some not so great news. But I know that at the April meeting when I was not here, the board approved the bid for our front door project, which we have since met, and the company that we awarded the bid to, we realized had an incomplete bid, so we were waiting for information which does not seem to be have been received yet.
Correct.
So our goal was to have it done by June 30th with summer reading program events happening, and we won't be able to get that have it done in that timeline, just also not knowing about supplies from the other company.
Correct.
So we're going to move into September is when that construction project will happen.
So I wanted to officially wait until we all met tonight, but that has to be the plan now, is to move it to September. So when I go back tomorrow morning, I'll remove everything and we'll start setting up for September. I already started the RFP project again, because there's a couple things that we learned from this that we don't have to include in the RFP that we put back out again, but I'm also going to be more detailed on a couple things that we didn't get. So I've got to redo the RFP, which I was able to do on my own and not have to pay our architect to do. So that was easily done, and I'm just waiting for the city, the employee that posts those is not back till next week. I'll work with her and I'll get that posted right away so that we don't have the problem of the timeline that they need for ordering the door sets, and then making sure that there is a complete bid with all of the components to the bid that unfortunately we received that didn't have it until we met with them afterwards. So we'll plan for the whole month of September for the East Meeting Room to be used as our main doors, and project, it's in the bid that it has to be done by September 30th, but we'll give them that time frame.
I'm not familiar with how the official stuff has to happen since we've already voted to have that money spent on this. Is that something we need to then take another action on?
You're gonna see fourth quarter.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
you'll see fourth quarter and you won't see that 100,000. We'll move it out, we'll put it over to next year.
Gotcha.
Yes, absolutely. And those are a couple things that are coming because of that.
Do we have to technically vote to postpone the project?
Well,
Or anything?
no, but I wanted to make sure you all, were aware of it. You don't have to vote, but you're gonna have to
Reallocate the funds.
what the
Do that
cost would be when we
yeah.
get those bids back in. And then you'll have a better sense of what
Yeah.
that is.
So, I guess my question is, when we got the bid in, because we did see the architect's comments.
Yep.
Did they not recognize that there were some components missing?
Yes, and it wasn't until we had the meeting after to award the bid that we were going through all the details, and it was the actual vendor that said, "Oh, I missed that." So he turned, it wasn't architecture or us, it was literally the person who bid it going, "I did not see that on the plan, and I have to get that cost for you and that work to be done." And so that's where, yes,
Alrighty then.
unfortunate.
So
And
we're
then,
gonna
so when we
send
went.
out for complete new bids
It is,
now.
it's gotta be a new bid, because when we went to the second, because we had two bids that came
Right.
in. When we went to the second one, at that point, they weren't gonna be able to even get the doors in the time frame that we have for June. So
Okay.
no matter what, the time frame has been put off.
Okay.
Yeah. So either way, we would have, either vendor.
How long?
Well, it's unfortunate that there was a glitch, that the bidder didn't see the scope of the
Yes.
plans
Yeah.
initially.
Yeah.
But it's better that was determined
Yes.
before the work was awarded or
Yeah.
he started work. So
Yeah.
it was a
Yes.
glitch, but it would have been worse had he started and then came back with, oh, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, it would have been close to $20,000, which would have been closer to the other vendor's bid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How long is construction expected to be, like when it does start?
it can be done in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Which is why I've got the whole month of September.
Yeah.
It just all depends on weather, and
Yeah.
we're working with some concrete work and things like that and making
Yeah.
sure those subcontractors that are coming in to do some of those pieces
Okay.
can get it done. But if we know that now, I am making sure that I'm putting myself at a 12-week time frame, and they only need 8 to 10 for the doors. So,
I know we want them before winter,
yes, we do.
because we're sick of it.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So that's why
We're
it's,
sick of
it's-
For winter,
so
'cause
that's,
we're sick of
the
the
message
energy
tomorrow is, hey, staff, it's still happening, but unfortunately, it's gotta move. That opens up some things, with meeting rooms right now, and
Yeah.
we can deal with that. The good thing too is, I still have the staff planning for fall programming, they haven't settled.
Okay.
And we can move those things around a little bit too, to accommodate the fact that the East Meeting Room won't be available, so we'll.
How is this gonna affect the open house?
People, if it's at the end of September.
The 20th?
So, right, so maybe it could be done. The work could be done, but if not, we use the East Meeting Room for people to walk in.
Okay.
So that
So we'll
becomes
move
our
the
main
entryway.
entrance. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we've used it in the past and set it up.
Would we have to move the detectors to that side?
No,
Okay.
I'm not,
Okay.
not worried about that at all. Because people will come in, but they're still gonna check out, and I will have a staff person in there so that no one's just walking out the door.
Okay.
Without checking out materials.
Okay.
Yep, we should be good. We've done this in the past. This was something
Okay.
when we had a problem with main doors a while back, but
Okay.
we should be good. So thank you, because I'll move forward with all that now with communication.
Any other committees?
Just one more real quick. So trustee U is now on events marketing and fundraising as well. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, but you weren't here when we had our meeting. So I just wanted to point out that the primary thing that the committee was meeting on was the marketing plan with Dana, and now you have that finalized in your packet. So I don't know if we're meeting anytime soon. I don't think we put something on the calendar, because Dana doesn't need us to meet right now. But we'll probably meet up again maybe July or August, probably August. So I just wanted to let you know, to
Sounds
manage
good.
your expectation.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Any other committee comments, reports? Seeing and hearing none, I'm going to move to matters for library board action. The first matter is from the HR committee, based on current staff shortages at NPL and Sunday hour data from other libraries, a consideration for reduced hours. I see a lot of data here. I don't know what the proposal is, but I see a data.
I think they're going to give you one, because we met Tuesday.
We did. Did you want us to give you context first, or did we want to vote and then have discussion? What's your preference?
Well, I
What
think
are we
to have a
voting?
vote, we have to have a proposal.
Yeah, I don't know
Right,
what.
but
What
do you
is-
want to hear,
what is being
before we make the
proposed?
official motion, would you like to hear background
Yeah.
before the official?
I mean,
motion?
No, I
it-
just need to know what the motion is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we don't
It's-
even know what the motion is.
Oh,
You want to go ahead and make the
it's
motion
number
then?
1 on the packet from HR committee, based on the current staff shortage at MPL and Sunday hour data from other libraries, a consideration for reduced hours. So that means, so I think they were asking Julie why it wasn't stated as a motion.
Because we
Because
didn't do
we
it at the
didn't have
time
it.
when she put the
Okay.
packet out. 'cause
Okay.
We just met on
No, it
Tuesday.
just says
Okay.
reduced hours. I
Yeah.
want to know exactly
They-
what you guys are.
The motion is to close on Sundays for the summer, from Memorial Weekend to Labor Day. That would be the motion that's on the table. Just on Sundays.
Okay. I'll second the motion. And now we can discuss.
Okay, there's been a motion, it's been seconded to close on Sundays from when to when?
Memorial Day through Labor Day.
Memorial Day to Labor Day. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been moved, it's been seconded, open for discussion.
Well, I do have a couple comments. I mean, I understand that we're short-staffed, but you're talking about 13 additional days that were closed on top of the 26. That's a 50% increase enclosures.
We don't have staff.
Right, but the problem is
It's
it's
a
a
safety
staffing
issue.
issue. It's literally a staffing
Yeah.
issue.
We don't
where
have anyone to
bodies.
cover Sundays.
I didn't hear what you said, Kat.
I'm sorry. We don't have anyone to cover Sundays. The people that left were Sunday. And it would be a safety issue if we were still open on Sundays. There would only be like maybe one person that could be here. It's pretty dire.
Well,
There's
I
only
guess-
one person that can,
Work on Sundays?
Well, Julie has it in the packet, the actions that she took to try to mitigate the staff shortage. But the main people that were working on Sundays are the ones that left.
So we lost 2 regular staff people, and we have 2 Sunday librarians.
Yes.
And those are positions that only work on Sunday. So currently, we have 2 employees that can work on Sunday,
For the whole building.
right, as librarians. So it'd be 1 on each desk.
Well, to me, there's a difference between being open and having a lot of programs. And I guess I'm not persuaded that with our staff, we can't assign people to work on Sundays to keep the doors open. I'm not saying it's not difficult, but we don't have to conduct programs if we don't have librarians. But we got a lot, we've got a staff of 60 people, and we've got talking 2 or 3 are gone, and all of a sudden we can't open on Sundays?
right, that's what
I think, Julie, you have to give more
Four openings
context.
out of
for them.
54, like you've got
Yeah.
a 7% reduction in staff.
But
And you
they're,
wanna,
but all those staff positions are not equal. Librarians have to have
Correct.
certain certifications and certain degrees and things like that.
Correct.
You can't just plug a body in
You can't,
to take those spots.
correct. So Julie, I don't know if you want to give them more context, 'cause it seems like they need more clarity on why we're asking for Sunday.
So I'm stuck with the fact that with the shortage we have, with the 2 employees that left that were scheduled on Sundays, we only have 2 Sunday librarians that are currently available. I've put out a huge email asking staff if they would be able to do that, which would take them off of something else during the week to shift that. So we're 107 hours short currently in the IS department. That's 82 full-time people and then a 27-hour part-time person. And so even if I shift to Sunday, I'm gonna lose and be short then during the day, other parts of the week as well, to do that. If I have a full-time person and we say, okay, don't work on Friday, you're scheduled, we'll move you to Sunday, that leaves me short on Friday. So either way, and I looked at a day where our numbers are lower, Sunday we're not gonna have the students because of school being closed. I looked at other libraries locally surrounded by us, but then, Mark, I heard you last month, that wasn't really data compared to Class 6, so I gave you all the Class 6 libraries that we tend to compare to, and the only library that's open on Sunday is West Bloomfield. So we're gonna still be that library open right now with a very short staff that's going to 19% of the checkouts. I gave you if you look on the chart on page, I wanted to give you some checkout data as well.
Page 78.
Yeah, page 78. This was the month of March.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Can I? Sure, I'll finish.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay. So on page 78, I can't drill down to people because I don't know card. What I can do is I can give you how much from other libraries is based on circulation of materials. So what I can tell you is 19% of the circulation on Sundays in 4 weeks is attributed to different libraries using the library. So that's a lot, I think, that means
It's
other
a lot.
communities are coming to us, and these are the libraries that we pulled from that data, so you could see where people are coming from, so I could give you an idea of how they're using us, and then I gave you, are they open or not? I wanted to give you that information as well. And then I gave you the Class 6 libraries too, that we tend to compare to by population and service area, similar. Are they open on Sundays? So I think for the staff shortage that we're experiencing right now, I don't see this to be a huge impact to be closed this summer. I am not asking for this to be a permanent closure. This is just for the summer. This did happen 5 years ago. We experienced the
We
same
did.
thing. As I shared earlier, I am looking at 12, 13 job positions from other libraries that have been posted that we're in competition with each other right now. So I do have people that I'm going to be interviewing. We're moving forward with trying to get them as filled as possible, but it also is training, especially if it's new people just coming out of library school. They're not gonna have any idea how to work on a desk and what that looks like until they go through some training. So it's not someone I would throw on a desk right away and work with the public. They're gonna need that time. If we can get these positions filled, hopefully by the end of June, which would be my goal with interviewing and everything that's happening, that would give us those months then to get these people in here. We have a couple people that applied that are out of state. I don't know how long it would take for them to move. Do you know what I mean, for the position if they were offered it? So those are the types of things are unknowns for me right now, but then we should be back to full staff and ready to go by Labor Day.
I have a question on this page, because I don't quite understand it. I see the 19%, and I see the Novi line, so what's the 4630?
Those are the number of items that were checked out.
Right.
Circulated.
On a Sunday, on Sundays in March,
Correct,
and 3757 were from Novi people.
correct.
So like two items were checked out from people in Berkeley.
Yes,
That what that means?
that is,
Well-
no, it's, yes, two people, well, it's two items.
It's
I
not
don't know if
people,
that's-
it's items.
Right.
I don't know if that's
items,
two
yeah.
people because it's 2 different weeks.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
two items.
But it's 2 items,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yep.
what I'm, that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
that's
I
a
get
good
it.
That was the only way for me to give you some data to
No,
let
this
you know
is-
where they're
this
coming
is
from.
great data.
Yeah. Yep.
Why
Because
are
I know
they
we
coming
talked
from
about, are we
Northville
being
when
exhausted?
Northville's open? Why are they coming from
Because
Northville?
we've got a great library, Lori.
Some of them, well, some of them
Yeah, some of them live
prefer
closer
our
too.
library, because they're a little bit closer to us, but
Yeah.
also they just prefer our
Yeah.
library. Some
I
of
mean,
them.
it's the benefit of being part of the consortium, you know, that you
Right.
can go around. I mean, it is, because our people get to go there too. But on a Sunday, if their library's closed, that's where I think we're exhausted a little bit. I think
Yeah.
that's one part of it, you know, that's a piece. But,
I
I
think it
just-
seems
yeah.
like quite a lot of the items checked out are from libraries that are open. Which is,
I know.
Neither
So why-
here nor there, but
right,
it's
so
just
why aren't they going to
interesting.
their own library, right? And then
Yeah.
we would have less.
It's a good
Yeah.
question.
Right. It could be convenience. They
The
might be closer
Lion-
to us
Yeah.
than they are to
Yeah,
the library
Lion
that
Town.
they
Lyon
live.
Township is closed,
Yes.
and that's a big one.
Isn't this taking into consideration too, Julie, that they might not have the item that someone's looking for?
True,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Then we would have it.
right.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're physically coming in and they're physically checking out. That is, it is the person in the building, which could then attribute to them coming to get an item, but maybe they also, you know, they use the building, they ask
Yeah.
a question, I don't know how to.
sure, no,
Yeah.
I just didn't understand
Yeah.
this chart, and now
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I just tried to drill down and give you something based on usage.
So I would say I'm not super excited about this because I do
Right.
like that we're open.
Yes.
But I don't think we can stress the staff like that or spread them like Julie was saying, where then we're, short-staffed on other days and all of that, where I think, especially when you look across this chart, this amazes me that West Bloomfield is the only other one that's open in the summer. Like on
How
Sundays.
about Farmington?
They're open, but we're not in the same class of.
Yeah, I was looking at the
population
class.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, their population is.
But our neighboring large libraries, Farmington open, West Bloomfield open, Bloomfield's open,
Right.
Northfield's open.
They also have larger budgets.
Yep.
They do.
So.
They do, their
Larger
taxes are
populations.
higher.
I'm not compelled by those that are open and closed. It's kind of across, it's half and half. It's half and half.
Well,
But to me, it's a step backwards. It's just
It is.
No, I understand.
It's a step
Yeah.
backwards, and I think the users on Sunday are a different group of people than the users Monday through Friday. And so we're shutting off a certain segment. I mean, granted, it's not the students, because the students are probably Monday through Friday, but closing on that day is a large group of people that maybe only use it on Sundays.
Maybe.
Mark, I agree with you. I think a lot of families benefit from our Sunday hours.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
So essentially, right now, Julie, like, we're in that hard place where you might have to shift staffing from a high volume day if we were forced to cover a Sunday right now because we're understaffed.
Yes, and all of our programming for the summer
Is during
is
the week.
already locked in.
Yeah.
And so we've got programs already set where if I'm pulling from one area, I might not have it, and then I'm gonna have to cancel some programming in order to do that.
But except you've canceled a bunch of programming ready for the library.
On Friday and Sunday.
Yeah.
But there isn't much programming on Sunday, is there?
Well, we were.
Not anymore.
And the librarian that left,
Yeah.
luckily, it happens to be that, so we don't have to worry about that,
And
but, yeah.
I would certainly support reducing the program that you don't have a specific librarian to perform. But keeping the doors open for general use doesn't, in my opinion, require, a librarian to do a program or to do a gathering. It's just
Yeah.
basically keeping the doors open and letting them use the automatic checkouts and having enough people in the library to make sure it's safe. But I'm not compelled. Two people who used to work on Sundays can't work anymore means it's an unsafe environment on Sunday.
Well, Mark, I think maybe to clarify a little bit more, it's not just the two people that are gone that are librarians. Like, we are down over 100 hours per week. So she will have to shift from a high volume day to accommodate your request to keep the doors open Sunday.
And, well, I question a high volume day when I look at Sundays, which is only open for 6 hours, usually is 600 to 800 people. So during the hours they're open, Sunday's a more high volume day than many other days, based on it's only open 6 hours.
Not during the summer.
The statistics show 600 to 800 people a day on Sundays.
Yeah, I'd have to pull summer hours.
Yeah.
Well, I've just been looking at
Yeah.
generally, so when they're.
I think we're busier during the school year on Sunday
Yeah.
than we are in the
That- oh,
summer.
In the summer.
That's probably true.
That's why
Yeah.
she's saying.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other
We have
fact
to
is, so I
consider-
have two librarians that are scheduled. If one of them calls in, I'm down to one. And that means there's no one on the floor.
Oof.
You have no adult. I have no staffing on the floor, actually monitoring the floor when the public is there.
That's an
How
actual
many people,
librarian.
Because I already did a low number, you know what I mean, to be in the building.
how many people work on Sundays at the library?
4,
4.
yes, for librarians, for librarians.
What about like total?
Total, I'd have to get you the number. I mean,
Yeah.
we've got 3 or 4 in support services. I have someone in the iCube. Yeah, I mean, it's a very low day already. But I've got a manager, and not all managers are library degreed.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be able to, my IT person can't sit on.
They
the
cannot.
Right,
Yeah.
can't sit on the desk for librarian work.
Right.
When you say sit on the desk, what does that entail?
That's servicing the desk. If anyone walks up to first or second floor information desks, they're asking questions about materials, where to find things, how to download, putting holds, books, helping with the copier, helping with them being on the computer, needing assistance on that. iCube, offering questions if the iCube person is busy, registering people for programming, talking about programs that might be coming up. It's,
Okay.
Collection development, readers advisory. That's all of what a librarian does on the desk. Yeah. Along with monitoring the spaces and making sure that everyone who's using, which is the public, they're sitting, they're using the space in the way they should. We don't have any problems. You know what I mean? I mean, it's the public. So we sometimes do have issues.
And you did put out a call, like.
I did, yes.
certified librarians.
I
that
did,
you know
through the
of to
Novi
come help,
Community
yeah.
School District, actually. Knowing that they're gonna be off this summer, I reached out and said, would any of you be interested in, because they have the degree, would
Yeah.
any of you be interested in working with us this summer? I had one woman say, oh, this looks great, but I have not seen any applications or anything come in. So I know that they got it, and they got the information, there were inquiries about it.
Okay.
I guess I'm happy that you said it's temporary for the summer, because
Yeah,
when I first saw this, I was afraid it was permanent.
Nope.
Because I know at budget time, the seed was planted that we might have to go this route, which I reluctantly agreed that had to, but then looking at the data about the libraries around us that are open, yes, I know they're not in our class, but then it was kind of eye-opening seeing how many actually are. I am surprised with the class 6 with the bigger libraries that West Bloomfield and us are the only ones that are open.
Right? I actually was surprised that Southfield was closed. When I did
Yes.
when I pulled the data, I was shocked that they were closed on
Right.
Sunday.
You're right. Have you also considered reduced hours in the summer? Like back in the day, it was 1 to 5. I don't know if that would help anything, or someone that they don't have to lose their whole day.
Right. I mean, it's, again, I just have 2 people working.
Right.
And if I have someone call in, I'm going to only have one person
You have 2
working.
librarians.
I have
for
2
you.
librarians.
I think that's where Mark's having a hard time,
Yeah.
is when you say people.
Right.
versus
I'm talking
librarians.
librarians in the IS department to service the 2 information desks.
But aren't all the directors and all the assistant directors librarians?
They are, but we're on a rotation for working for the management team to be available. So we work a management schedule, and we're on weekends to be available.
But so they would qualify as a librarian if they're on Sunday?
If they have the library degree. And I have myself and Lori that have the degrees.
The other 2 assistant directors don't have degrees?
No.
Not in library science.
I have an IT department head. I have a support services who does building and grounds, IT and support services. My head of support services is going to library school but doesn't have the degree. And my communications manager, I hired for their skills for what they're doing. They didn't have to be librarians. And, that would be difficult to fill, actually, for those
Yeah.
positions if we asked for an ALA degree or an MLS plus be an IT person. So I hire those for their specific skills.
How long will it take you to hire new employees to fill this?
It'll take us about 6 weeks.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
With the other
I mean,
libraries also
Right,
interviewing.
I've had, the positions have been out,
About a month.
about a month now, where we've got and just vetted through everything. We are getting ready to set up the interviews. And then depending on if they give a 2-week notice or if they give a month or, that's what I don't know, is the unknown from the person who would accept the job when they get started. I mean, we will start them right away when they can be available.
But
we're
not by
also-
themselves, because they'll need to do training. You're
Oh,
not going to
yeah,
just say,
right,
you're on your
yeah.
own.
The good thing is if they come with a little bit of experience, that's great. They've worked in a library, so they might have some experience. But if they're coming brand new, then they're not gonna have a lot of experience with, with being on the desk and that service component.
So I think 5 years ago, Brian was here when we went through that, because it was around the time of being understaffed for a couple key librarian positions. And I think that it wasn't past 100 hours like it is now. I think it was like 70 or 80,
I'd have to go back only just because.
to be accurate, but it's yeah. So we have,
And we experienced the same thing. It was COVID and retirements.
Yeah.
And then we were shifting again.
Yeah.
So,
And that was temporary. It
It
was
was.
just the summer. It's something we don't want to do, but I'm like worried that what other solution are you proposing? Because it's got to be fair to the staff. It's got to be, you can't overwork the staff. If we have to limit hours during the week, I don't know if that's the correct solution, because the week is when we have programming.
right.
So you have to come up with solution if you want to keep Sunday open.
And I think we should be very clear about something too, that this is not budget related at all.
It's not.
Right.
It's not.
This is due to a staff shortage.
Right.
I'm very appreciative of what just happened, with our council and their support. I did, because I had an opportunity to talk with the mayor for some other purposes, I did let him know that this was a conversation that would be coming up at our meeting, because I felt he should be just aware
Give him
of it.
heads up,
And
yeah.
then I said, once that decision is made, I would make sure he knew and council knew what was going on. But I did make him aware of it. And he actually, Mark, we were in a meeting that he was already aware of it when we met with him on that Saturday prior to them making the decision of supporting us with the 7-0 vote.
Is there a reason we only have 2 Sunday librarians? I thought we had more at one point, or 3.
Well, so this is, because we had some staff that was interested in working on Sunday, we did that change. So, it worked for them to bring that kind of programming that we wanted to on Sundays. And so we didn't need to fill Sunday librarians like we had in the past. But we have 2 very dedicated Sunday librarians that have been with us. I will probably look for another one in the fall, so that so that we're well-staffed, but I'll wait until I actually get the other positions filled.
Are there does the trustees have any other suggestions? Because I think it's a little too quiet. This is a pretty serious issue.
Well, it is a serious issue, and I'm not 100%, I'm not in favor of closing on Sundays. I just honestly feel backed into a corner.
We do too.
Well, we do the same thing.
Yeah, we do
I'm not
too.
excited about it by any means, but I don't see what choice we have.
But we have to come up with another solution and give guidance.
Is there a way we can go every other Sunday, or open on Sunday once a month?
I'm still, until I fill it, I still only have the 2 librarians.
But you have other employees
That I
other
could
than the
ask,
2
that I could
librarians.
ask to see if they're interested in working.
Well, to shift around.
Well,
But
I'm
it-
dealing with vacations and stuff too. This all got approved. We did all our vacations starting January. I have less staff that we worked around
it's
all of our
pre-approved, right?
programming.
Yeah.
Correct, to know all that, so so that we don't run into issues and that we cover everything that we've got planned.
I just don't know of any
Yeah.
other business that lays off people or has a shortage that shuts down.
Well, we're not shutting down. We're shutting one day down. I understand where you're coming from, but
just
I
feel
guess
like
for you
we're
to
not-
say that,
it's a
we're not
disservice
shutting
to
down.
the community.
I
have a really tough time
I
with
understand
this.
that.
It's not ideal, but we have to figure it out. So if we decide not to close on a Sunday, we have to give a different path on what that would look like.
Well, I'll continue to find people to work. I just want to make sure then if we stay open and I get the calls in, you're going to get an email from me letting you know that when someone calls in, they call in the morning of. I'm stuck with 1 librarian. We will cancel a desk, which I find very concerning, that no one would be on the floor
At all?
at all.
Well, what do you mean? There are other people than librarians. I mean,
I have
it's not to
shelvers.
help.
I have shelvers that are in the stacks, but I don't have any other clerks that would be on the second floor. I have someone in the iCube, but they're specific to that position. They're not a librarian, and they won't be answering questions to help find people,
How
people
much
to
does
find
the
materials.
iCube get used on Sunday?
A lot.
Because it's Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does. It gets used a lot. I know. I mean, that, it is. It's this, I understand your concerns, but I don't.
I don't know. This topic has been up for conversation for so long. I don't understand why we're backed into a corner.
What do you mean by so long?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You've mentioned closing on Sundays for a few months now.
Since I got the notice, which has been
What notice?
about a month, that the staff, that my
No,
staff
We've talked
had
about this
left.
before.
Oh, I wasn't
I think-
planning on closing this summer until I
No.
had staffing issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no plan to close on Sunday.
Well, and I think too, part of the problem is, Lori, to your point of no other businesses do this, but they do. If you have a specialized degree and you have to have that degree, if a dentist is ill, they close because, or whatever. You can't just put somebody there to do that job, and that's why they're specialized. I mean, and I guess that's the thing, is speaking for myself, I think Kat would agree, it's not like we're bringing this proposal going, oh, this will be great. I
No,
mean,
it's
we're
not.
not excited about it,
No.
but it's sort of where we are.
My concern is because we are missing these key positions, my concern is we're going to push more burnout, which could cause more turnover. My concern, and then we'll be really stuck. My concern is safety. My concern is customer service. Like, those are all my concerns because we're understaffed for that day.
Well, when you say safety, what exactly do you mean?
I mean, if you're thinking, according to what Mark said, 800 people are coming through our doors, but you're down a couple staff members to be able to monitor everything, I just consider that an issue of safety. If you have like a certain class size, you have one teacher and hopefully support, depending on your budget. You don't open up a business and allow the whole public to come in if it's not properly staffed, because it is a safety issue for the staff that is present. I just don't feel comfortable with that. I want to make sure that we're able to accommodate also the patrons that come in. Like, we're going to have a downturn in customer service as well. And I think it's anecdotal. It's our best guess as to who comes in on a Sunday, whether they're going to be self-serving or not. Like, they might genuinely need help, and we won't have the right people there to help them. I'm worried about that. Like, we had this meeting, and I'm like been worrying about it up until like today. It's definitely not ideal, and it sounds like there's a lot of worry coming from the staff right now.
Would you like to make a decision of May and June, and then
Readdress?
Yeah, and I bring you, an update as to how I'm doing with staffing? Would that,
I
I mean,
would
that's-
feel a lot better,
I'm just
about
trying to
that.
think of something.
I was actually
yeah,
going to throw that out there.
right.
I also have another question. What are I should know this, and I apologize. What are our hours on Saturday?
Saturdays, we're open 10 until 6. Staff arrive at 9:30.
So if we do May and June, you have to go through interviews, and then you get somebody brought in immediately.
No, but I mean, they're not gonna be trained.
But that means
if
for
I
the
could-
public, we're gonna say we're closed through June, and then have to go, oh, now we're closed through August,
Yeah.
possibly.
Right.
Well, I'm wondering if we can
Or-
extend the Saturday hours if we close on Sundays.
Well, I only have 8 hours in a day, so I'd be paying overtime and a half,
How,
because if I have full-time
well,
people.
during the week, what are our hours?
We have 2 shifts. We have an 8:30 to 5, and we have a 12:30 to 9, because Monday through Thursday, we're open till 9. And so if I have a full-time person that's scheduled to work on Saturday, they're working an 8-hour shift, 9:30 to 6. And if they go later than that, which I don't think I'll have any staff who wants to work more than 8 hours in a day, we're gonna have to figure out some overtime, time and a half or something to pay employees, which we've never done, which will be a cost that we've never had. I've always thought we were trying to save money.
Well, I know that. but
Yeah.
If we're closing on Sunday, I'm just trying to
Right.
think of another way
We're only
to-
open an 8-hour day, so that's
On Saturday.
on Saturday.
On
Same with
Saturday.
Friday.
Oh, Friday as well?
Yep, we're open 10 to 6 on Friday.
So when we are closed, pretty much what's available is book return, the automated book return,
The lending library up at the north end.
the lending library.
Read
When
boxes.
when we had to figure out what to do during the forced shutdown, the COVID shutdown, what was the whole thing with the lockers and stuff like that? Do we still do that? like hold lockers and things like that
Yeah, we really don't anymore.
Okay.
We haven't had the demand,
to do that
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that was more a COVID thing. I mean, it got used because of COVID.
because of COVID, yeah,
Right.
because we weren't open, yeah.
Correct. And then we did run into a little bit of safety because we had some people that were displaced.
Oh,
And, we have the two sets of doors.
Yeah.
And we were leaving one set of door open so that people could have access to those lockers, but we were finding that there were some people that were staying in the space.
oh, I see, okay,
So I had some concern for that.
okay.
If we look for the more information that Julie talked about and that, our previous colleague talked about to review next meeting, we essentially are saying, are only extending this to 2 more Sundays that should be open, because you have Sunday, June 1st, and Sunday, June 8th before our June 11th meeting. So if we want to get more information, we're not talking about half the summer, we're talking about 2 Sundays. So, I would like to make a motion that we come back with more data and a further a chance to think about this and put it on the June 11th.
So what data do you need?
Well, you talked about getting more data about, you were going to get volunteers.
No, I
and-
can't do volunteers. I
Okay.
can't have volunteers work.
Oh,
I can
no.
get staff. I
Or
can see- oh, I see.
staff,
Okay.
volunteers,
Yeah.
I meant volunteers from within the staff.
Okay, yeah.
I
And-
thought you've already asked them.
I have, and I haven't had any takers yet, but
And we also have, we still have, well, at least they haven't put in a application, we could probably still reach out to the school folks as well, too.
I did,
Okay.
yeah. I
Yeah,
did all
Sharon
that,
did
yep,
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, they haven't, they said they were interested, but they didn't respond officially, correct?
Right, they have to actually
Yeah.
send the application for us just to get them,
Okay.
going in our process. It won't be as big as, because they
Sure.
have the degree and stuff, and we're using them just in a capacity for the summer, but I had interest, but I didn't have anybody actually turn in anything.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, they officially have to
Yeah.
turn in something
Right,
for me
oh, no, I
to-
understand,
yeah.
It might
Yeah.
make sense to reach out to them again and see if they're
Right.
still interested.
Yeah.
Do you think that you would have a better understanding of, given another 4 weeks, would you maybe have somebody in mind or have been able to give somebody an offer by then?
We've got the interviews I can give you more details as to when the interviews are scheduled and then when offers could be potentially made. So,
So what does this look like then? So,
Well, I just made a motion that we table it.
But there's already a
till-
motion on the floor.
You
We
wanna-
would have to
Are you amending the
rescind
motion? Are
it.
you amending the motion?
Okay.
You'd have to
Yeah,
amend
okay.
it, yeah.
There is a motion on the
There's a
floor.
There is a motion on the
Okay.
floor. We're in discussion right now.
If you can move to amend it if you want.
If the original and the seconder
Yeah.
will accept it.
correct.
It has to be, I need to understand your motion, though.
Well,
Like
would be to collect more information and to table the discussion to an actual vote for the June 11th meeting.
Okay.
Basically, table the issue, after, having everybody have a chance to review the information until the June 11th meeting. It's essentially tabling things till the June 11th meeting. It would affect 2 Sundays.
We'd still be open.
We would still be open.
We would still be
May
open
I
to.
simplify that motion?
Sure.
I think your motion is just to table this discussion until June 11th.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
so by doing that, Julie, how many Sundays are we going to have these 2 people where if somebody calls in, we have a problem? So
2
starting
Sundays.
now?
Just 2.
Two Sundays from now till
We've
then.
got, we have this weekend Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
That is these,
17th, I think?
yes,
Yep.
17th, the 24th
Is closed.
is Memorial.
Yeah,
And then we would have the following Sunday.
31st and
Which
the
is the
7th.
first.
Gotcha. Okay, so just those 2,
think
I
it's the
see.
30th.
31st.
31st, the 31st and the 7th.
So we're looking at, 17, 31, and 7.
So 3 Sundays. Okay.
So the first question is whether this is a friendly amendment or not, whether the backers of the motion the backers and the supporters will support this as a friendly amendment.
I mean, I don't think we have a choice. I also feel backed into a corner.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because if we play it out, let's just play it out one scenario. So Julie goes through this, contacts the people, and we're back here again. Then we're giving the public no notice to say we're starting next Sunday, we're closed, we're done.
Correct.
Well, we weren't giving him any notice anyways, because you wanted to close this Sunday.
No, it was
No,
Memorial, from Memorial
Starting
weekend.
Memorial.
After Memorial Weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was starting Memorial weekend when it was already closed.
So do I take that there's not support from the maker and the backer of the original?
No, we're still talking.
We're still
about it.
talking.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we've got to get procedural, and we got to know what we're talking, we either have to talk about the amendment or not.
I see.
I'm kind of getting procedural now, do we know what we're talking about? You don't have to, I'm just asking if you will, because if you
To
don't
back the
support it,
amendment
if
so
you
that we
don't
could talk
support
more.
it, then it becomes a vote, It's not a friendly amendment, but it's an amendment that everybody on the board could vote on.
I don't know if that's right. I mean, are you saying that we need to support the amendment to further discussion? Is that what you're
You
saying?
need to support the amendment for it to be a friendly amendment.
I don't
You need to agree to his.
amend the original
amend-
motion.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's no, I think that what you're saying, Mark, in Robert's rules, it's not friendly versus non-friendly. It's just accepting to amend the motion. I've never heard friendly. It's just friendly semantically because we're friendly.
No,
No, it isn't friendly. It's
no,
called
because
friendly
if it's not friendly, then we will go ahead and vote on your original motion.
Oh, without the amended motion.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
So right now, we're trying to decide if we're accepting
You're
the
trying
amendment.
to decide
Yeah.
if you accept his friendly
That's what I'm
amendment.
saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, and that's the question right now. Before we can do much else, we have to get past
Yeah.
that point.
I mean, I'm fine with extending the conversation
Sure.
to another meeting. I don't think we have a choice.
I agree.
Because otherwise, it's still going to be open. And the staff is going to be having some hardship, so.
Yep.
I accept the friendly amendment.
I do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we now have a motion on the floor to table this discussion until January 11 with whatever additional information.
June 11.
What did I say, April? I'm sorry, June 11.
Oh my gosh, Mark.
June 11.
I
June
will
11
second Brian's
amendment.
amendment.
Okay,
If we're making a list of data to pull, can we pull data for like summer?
Summer Sundays?
usage?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm like,
summer
what's the right
Sunday
word?
usage, yeah.
Attendees?
Yes.
Yeah.
we probably have that
I do.
already.
Yeah.
Not, maybe in one place we have
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Oh, it is all in one place. It's at
And I
home,
think-
in my cupboard,
So I have
in all my little blue folders.
Before we vote, I do have another question to consider.
Okay.
How long does it take to open up the building fully and then close the building? How long does that take?
Not very long, no.
Because my question, the reason why I asked that is, could there be a possibility that we reduce the amount of hours on Sunday to half?
And be open 12 to 3?
Correct.
It is, but again,
But
you're-
it's the number
you're
of people that
still-
are there.
I only have 2 librarians.
Yeah.
No matter
and
how
if-
long they're standing there.
Right, and
Yeah,
in the
if I
building.
have somebody call in sick, which is one of them, I only
Yeah.
have 1 librarian that would work the 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because my other thought is if we truncate hours a little bit,
Right.
Yeah.
maybe somebody else on staff might want to
Right.
jump because they're not losing their whole
Correct,
day.
so then I
Right.
could put that out,
Yeah.
I could put that
Correct.
offer out there to them.
Yeah.
I
So
see,
that's
yeah,
just-
that's a good
Yep.
point.
Yeah.
That's an
That's a good
option I
point.
wanted to bring forward.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
a good idea. I see where your head is at.
My head.
I would
And his
think you'd
head.
want to only go like 1 through 5, because you're going to meet, from an individual's perspective, you're going to meet a point of diminishing returns. Where especially
For
if,
sure.
if you're driving in, say you're driving in from Southfield. You paid for 3 hours.
Yeah, but I'm not worried
Yeah.
about Southfield people. Or are you talking about staffing?
The
This
staff.
is
Oh, staff,
staffing,
I'm talking about
yeah.
staff. You're
Yeah.
driving
Are we
in-
wasting
you're
their
driving in from
time?
a location,
Right.
you
I
know,
know, and work
Yeah.
for 3
you know,
hours.
Yeah.
And one of my librarians is
3
not
hours.
local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my Sunday librarians is
So,
not local.
Yeah, so that's
So I
something to
would think
consider,
that, I would
yeah.
think that 4 hours is almost kind of a minimum. That would be my thinking, but I don't know about anybody else.
And let me ask,
My
But
worry
you know what,
is
this
they'll
is-
be like, you know what? Why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
And then they tell me
Right.
that they don't want to at all, and I
Right.
lose the 2 Sunday librarians that are working for me.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
well,
right.
that's,
Okay.
well, they're gonna, no matter what we do, truncate or close, they're gonna,
Right.
Yeah.
that thought's gonna cross their mind.
The motion on
No,
the
if
floor
they're
is to
closed, they
table
would
the
just
discussion
have different
until
hours, right?
June
No,
11th.
they only
Any
work
more
on
discussion?
Oh, they only work on Sundays. Okay.
Not
Any,
for me.
any more discussion on the amended motion?
No.
Do you have, Kirsten, would you need?
I have what I.
Okay.
You're good?
I
Okay.
just knew we had a lot of discussion.
This
I
was
just
a
wanted to make
lot,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So you want data on Sunday hour usage from the summer?
Yes.
So
No.
we're ready for.
No discussion. I'll ask the secretary to call the roll on the amended motion.
Okay, trustee Stirring,
Yes.
trustee Yu,
Yes.
trustee Burke,
Yes.
trustee Bartlett,
Yes.
trustee Dooley,
Yes.
trustee Helvangus says yes. Motion carries 6-0.
So we are not closed, and I will bring you more information.
Yes. And we're able to email you to get more info if it pops in our head, right, Julie? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Moving on to the second item for library board action is the first draft of the new financial policy that was emailed to us and handed out to us tonight. This was done somewhat in haste at a finance committee meeting, so this is coming in a first draft
It is,
for the purpose of getting all of our input, really.
correct.
And I will start with a couple comments if I can. You did a very good job with some of my penmanship, Julie, I appreciate that very much. The one thing I would like, and I'm sure that Carla will agree with me, is that where it says, in the event the general fund balance exceeds 50%, it then has in parentheses excess fund balance. I would like excess fund and balance to all be capitalized.
Oh, gotcha.
And then in the subsequent points underneath, they would be because they're capitalized terms.
Oh, gotcha, yes.
Excess fund balance, excess fund balance. And then in the fourth bullet point, it says transfer funds, the excess, the word fund should be deleted.
Yes,
It should be
transfer the excess.
The excess fund balance to the contributed fund.
Got it. Yep, thank you.
And I think
I
that
have-
picks up the notes from our meeting.
And I have one more.
Yep.
On the first page, way down at the bottom, the first bullet point, in the parentheses, shouldn't it say replacement of carpet, roof, HVAC,
Sure.
parking lot?
Mhm.
Mrs. Helvangus, do you
Well,
agree?
I'm not
think
sure
you
where you
could
are,
go either
Maureen.
way,
I'm not sure where you are.
But sure,
First page at the very
Ma-
bottom, first bullet.
Major facility expenses, replacement of carpet.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Great. So then what I will do is I'll clean that up based on those comments, and I'll bring it for second reading for the June meeting.
Okay.
Okay? Great. Thank you.
Okay. We don't have to vote on it?
No vote.
Unless you want to. Do you want to vote on it?
no, thank you.
Okay.
Also from the Finance Committee, a consideration for an increase in public printing costs from 20 cents to 25 cents for black and white copies effective July 1, 2026 due to service fee increases and rising supply costs, paper and toner. You want to discuss that a little bit, Brian?
Sure. If you look at, we had a meeting, we were discussing various credit card costs. These are costs to use credit cards and the various rules on how they're used. We process credit cards currently with 3 separate systems. One is the administrative office, where we go through any of our, like if you sign up for an activity, if you do anything of your, with a credit card through the Friends and so forth, we use Square. That is the cheapest way to deal with a credit card. It's a 3% charge. One of the things we also covered in our meeting is if you use a debit card, we still pay the 3%, but it can't be handed through to the client. We also discussed, we had a meeting a while back where we discussed meeting rooms, and we actually said we're going to boost the price of the meeting rooms a little bit, rather than having a obvious extra, if you use a credit card, this is how much it's going to charge. One is, we like to use credit cards because we like the fact that our library staff doesn't have to deal with money, and we don't have to have money on site. Anyways, there's 3 different types of credit cards. The highest rate that we're paying right now is to Fifth Third Bank, which is at the circulation desk. In our meeting that we really don't have to vote on, we authorized the IT staff to look at replacing that with Square. Because basically it's 6%. We're probably getting hammered on that because we are not a high volume, we're not a high volume store, so we're probably paying the maximum rate to Fifth Third. So we're looking to replace that with Square. The print release becomes a problem. The print release is actually part and parcel to how the printing copies work, and that's at 7.19%. So what we came up with is one of the thoughts that we had, and again, we don't need to, I think our target was July 1st, so we don't need to vote on it tonight, but one of the targets that we thought there to help defray, again, the credit card costs, is just up the price of a copy from 20 to 25 cents.
Right.
So again, there would be no penalty for using a credit card versus cash. It's just 20 to 25 cents on black and white copies, and the color copies are already $1, so we decided to do nothing with those. So that's basically the thoughts behind what we discussed. Again, we do not want to have any overt costs for the credit card processing. We don't want to have to program any of the upfront devices to say, okay, if you're going to go process on a credit card, if it's a debit card, you're not processed, because like that is actually part of the Dodd-Frank bill. It's illegal to do that. So that's basically what our thinking was and our plan was from the Finance Committee.
Did you make your motion first, or no?
We don't.
He was just giving you background.
I was just giving you the
Okay.
background. We don't really have to vote on this tonight.
Okay.
This is another thing we have some time to think over.
But the more,
But we might as well.
and the more notice I give to the public, the
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
So that's why I thought it was a motion
Well,
today.
I think the motion would be, it's a simple motion. The motion would be to increase
Yeah.
the fee that we're charging right now for
Right.
black and white copies from 20 cents to 25 cents.
Right.
You are correct.
Just
So moved.
Yeah, structurally though, I just want to say for cadence of meeting, we have to decide if we give context before a motion or we do a motion and then discussion. And we seem to subjectively
Usually I
choose.
write it as a motion, which I didn't, because I didn't know if there was going to be a motion made, so
Okay.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
okay.
So that's
For
why I
future.
let Brian do the
Yeah,
background.
for the
first.
future.
But there's a motion now.
I'll make that motion.
Or it's been made, and has it been seconded?
I'll second.
So for the research that, from 20 cents to 25 cents, did you kind of compare what maybe other places charge? I'm just wondering if we're charging enough.
We're on target with other libraries.
Are we?
We might
Okay.
be a little higher now, but
Okay.
we're just seeing some major increases.
I just want to make sure we're charging enough. and
Yeah.
not
Just to add
shortchanging.
to what Brian had said in regard to background, there is a way that you could charge credit card users more, but that would only be credit card users, not debit card users. And it would be like such a complicated.
That's too
you know, trying to
complicated.
sense the slip and
It
stuff.
is.
When
And-
businesses
and
do that, I get annoyed.
In general, when we were looking at room rentals, when we're looking at, we would rather raise the rate a little bit.
Right.
And absorb those charges.
Right.
Than to go through rather complicated notice procedures.
Right.
That would be very difficult to follow, and by just simply, you know, raising the charge a little bit more to reimburse us for the cost of the credit card users' fees.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, I don't think 25 cents is out of the market.
It's not.
We're doing this as a service. I think we're just trying to cover our costs, basically.
If you
And I
think
can
it's
tell you,
enough,
we've seen
yeah,
increased paper and toner costs
it's
big
pretty
time.
expensive, yeah.
Um,
Well, that's why, like,
the
my
last couple
question,
months.
so that's why my question is, are we charging enough?
We
Because-
are based on, you know what I mean, like
Okay.
what's out there for other libraries, yes.
Just because, yeah, if you think of commercial retail, like, the closest copy place is what FedEx can goes,
Yeah,
they're super expensive. So I just want to make sure we're not shortchanging ourselves.
I don't think
The other factual background was, weren't sure at the finance committee meeting, when was the last time we raised the rates?
It's been a
And
long
then-
time.
no, we raised them 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, you
Yes.
notified us that after.
But it had,
Yeah.
yes,
But it's
and
been
it
2
had
years.
been over 10 years, actually more,
Yeah.
that it was the first time we raised it from 10 to 20,
Yeah.
and that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, they
But 2
used to
years
be
ago,
10.
Yeah. Yeah, I did get that back to all of
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
How much usage does our copiers get? I know you're pulling the data once we move
Is it a lot?
the
A
copy,
lot.
but I'm curious.
They're
Is it?
used all day
Oh.
long, yes.
Wow. Okay.
And surprisingly, someone might put 10 cents on their credit card for, or no,
Like one
20 cents
copy?
for a copy. They might not have the money, you know, people are very much cashless.
Sure,
And,
sure.
I mean, it takes coins and it takes dollars, but if you don't have it, it's,
Sure.
Is there a tipping option?
With Square.
no. And for an auditing purposes, we went away with having some of that cash actually at information desks.
Right.
Because that was too many areas that there was, correct. So
Yeah.
we've gone all the way to, it's gotta be handled through the machine and, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if the finance committee and Julie, if you're comfortable with 25 cents, I'll support that. I just want to make sure we're charging enough, as I said. Because sometimes I think we don't
Yeah.
for certain things.
Yeah, but I mean, we know that we've had the cost, so I
Okay.
think we're good.
It has been moved and seconded to increase the cost for our black and white copies from 20 cents to 25 cents. Any more discussion? If not, I'll ask our secretary to take the vote.
Trustee Yu,
Yes.
Trustee Burke,
Yes.
Trustee Bartlett,
Yes,
Trustee Dooley,
Yes.
Trustee Helvangus says yes, Trustee Stirring.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Next item on our agenda is the communication. Page 94, we saw the email or the letter from Crystal Cannon. We saw the response from Julie, and we saw a thank you from Crystal, understanding what was going on. Nice response, Julie.
Thank you.
There is no closed session tonight. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I'll second.
We'll give Tori that second.
We can do this by a show of hands if we want. All in favor of adjournment? So be it. We are adjourned.